Guys, it's Babypowder, and we're back with another one of our clean out videos for our 200 run series part 2. And this is going to be week 30 and probably the last one for this series, but doesn't mean we won't have something in the future. I am moving on to do our 1000 run series more and get more of those done. Also going to possibly be working on other speed classes and doing that as well. Going to probably start off with the Rogue first, and then I have another thing in mind for another series we might do afterwards. I'm not sure if I actually end up doing a sheet with that one. Might just be like a thing where we just see how the gold kind of adds up, but might change my mind by the time I'm done with some of the 1000 runs and building other speed classes. Might do something completely different, but yeah, I do already have something I'm considering for the next kind of series that we'll have going after we take a break from doing all these runs. So anyway, first up is the review. As always, how are we doing? So, well, we hit our goal back on week 24, so we've already really been done with it anyway, but I wanted to finish out what we had listed, so we did that, and we've just been building on top of that 10 million. Actually, we're already at 12,353,000, so over 2 million more than what we set out to make. The sales have kind of gone down here recently. We only had 293,000 last week and 282,000 the week before that, but it was still over our 200,000 goal, so that was still good. But then again, we haven't been doing as much. I mean, we did do a lot with islands, but really with like Shattered Halls and Mechanart, normally those two dungeons I would have done them like in the same week, but I wanted to continue on working towards my 1000 runs, and I was kind of doing that beside those, so it was a lot less than what we've typically done. So that could have been part of it, but it could have also been sales were just down. That happens as well, because we do have quite a bit of stock still built up, even though we've sold a lot, right? But anyway, back to the review here. Again, we made 293,000 last week. We're up to 12,353,000, which is 2,353,000 above our goal. As far as where we made the majority of our gold, it has been in transmog, but that's mostly what we're aiming for. We've so far made 10,980,000 with transmog alone, and 1,373,000 from our materials and sometimes pets from like islands and things. With our realms, we are still doing Proudmoore and Thrall, and with Proudmoore, they have actually started out being the big breadwinner for us, but Thrall has taken the lead. Actually, they took the lead right as we hit our goal on week 24, but they actually were down a little bit last week. Proudmoore made us 167,000 last week. Thrall only made us 126,000, but overall, Thrall has made us the most with 6,399,000 versus Proudmoore only making 5,954,000. As far as Series 1, they actually had a pretty good week for week 30. They had 421,000, so that's going to be really hard to beat if we keep on this roll of only a little above 200,000. But still, if we're over 200,000, I'm happy, because really that's all the goal is, especially when we're getting close to being that passive way of making gold, with these two realms as well. That did only bring Series 1 up to 8,410,000 though. As we know, they actually hit it 4 weeks later though. They made their goal at week 34. But anyway, either way, we're still going to be ahead of them because we've already hit our goal, right? But I do like to see if we can try to beat that. Now, as far as the Series 1 items go, we are still trying to sell those items kind of passively. I mean, I do still have to post them. I did kind of slack off this week too, so that's why I'm also saying it's going to be a little hard to hit that 421. I had stuff going around the house, and I had both kids, so that also took in from me being able to post as much as I normally do. But we only made 27,000 here, 53 gold with Series 1 items. Now, they are on new realms, but we have seen where they've had really big cleanouts. In the week before that, they had 160,000. We're not adding anything new. It is still just the same items we had left over from Series 1, but we still have a decent amount of those items. So that's kind of a shame we only made 27,000, but hey, it's just really extra gold, so it is what it is. And I didn't post as much. But so far since we've started this series, so for 30 weeks, passively, they've made us 8,955,000. That's still quite a bit of passive extra gold, right? Well, anyway, guys, I think that's pretty much going to wrap this one up. We're going to aim for 200,000. We're going to aim to maybe beat the 421,000 that Series 1 had made this week. But if we hit 200,000, I'm happy. And if you guys enjoy these videos, go ahead and smash a big thumbs up though. Lets me know that you like it and also helps out the channel. And do not forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss the next one. All right, guys, we're going to get into this like we always do. We're going to start off with Proudmoore. We're going to check out the low value transmog, then the high value transmog, and then the materials / toys and pets. We actually should have some materials this time. We do get some from the Mechanar, and then we're going to do the same thing for Thrall. All right, starting off here, we are on Proudmoore and we're on our low value bait tune. What did we get? Again, we want like 10,000 or 1,000 average per cell, 10,000 is the high value, and then we want around 40,000. Doesn't look like we almost got 30,000, but it does look like we got the average of 1,000 gold made per cell with 22 cells and 28,800 gold. So just a little bit below the total, but like I said, I did not post as much as I normally do this week because just busy with real life stuff and the kids and everything. But anyway, let's go ahead and see what standouts we do have here. We have this design here for this Earthstorm Diamond for 3,700. That probably did actually come from, it could have came from either the Mechanar or Shattered Halls. I know we did have a bunch of those recently from those two dungeons. Manual of the Strong Anti-Venom for 1,400. We also had a design for the Azure Moonstone here, 2,000. Also BC pattern, so most likely from one of those. Design for the Jagged Telesite for 1,100. Steadfast Breastplate for 3,400. And then we have a Perilous Headband for 1,100. We also have a pattern for the Leather Chest Guard of the Sun for 1,000. I think that's Sunwell though. We have the Discarded Swamp Stalker Tunic here for 4,000. Nat Piggle Book for 2,200, and then Blood Knight Greaves for 2,000, and Heroes Leggings for 1,100. All right, now high value transmog, where we're looking for the big boy sales. So this is where we want to see at least 10,000 average per sale, and hopefully at least 100,000. Let's see how Proudmoore did, and they've got 4 sales, 87,000. So they got the at least 10. I mean, because they're more than 40,000, so we're over that 10,000 average per sale, but not quite at 100,000. So hopefully Thrall can do it for us. But we do have a really nice sale that's unexpected right here with the Battered Hilt, 75,000 gold. Now that actually kind of makes me interested in going back in there. I was kind of to the point where I was like, man, I don't know if I should even do Pit around anymore, because we were getting about 3 every 200 runs. We did, you know, the first series we got 3 for 200 runs. The second series we got 3 for 200 runs, and I was actually even thinking we might not even get a third one, because it wasn't until like the very end we finally got that third one. And I think we got the majority of them over on Thrall, and they did not sell for much. I mean, I think we got like 15,000 or maybe 30,000 gold for them. Still, even at 30,000, it just wasn't enough for that many runs, even though it is very short. It just wasn't enough, only getting 3 of them, right? Because that's almost the only thing you get. I mean, you do get the patterns and stuff too, but you can get so many more, I feel like, doing the other Wrath dungeons. But anyway, that's a really good price point for that one. I'll definitely take that. Arachnidian Robes also sold for 1,600. We have the Plundered Sea Sinew Staff for 9,400. And then a really low one here with the Sun-Drenched Scale Chest Guard. All right, we got our last bank off for Proudmoore. It's going to be our materials and our pets. Let's take a look and see. Well, if I get the mailbox here, we got 17 cells, 8,600 gold. Well, 8,686, which is pretty good for materials and stuff. So let's take a look, see what we got here. We did actually sell some pets. We got Marks of Sargeras sold. So that is, you know, some reputation tokens, but I consider them materials from doing the Mechanar. We got 1,500 gold for those. For 1,040 of them. We also sold the Sun Fury Signets, had over 2,200 of those, and we got 23, almost 2,400 for those, so nice. Fell Armaments had 75 of those for 1,600 gold, and then we actually sold a decent pet for the Baby Stonehide at 1,400 gold here. All right, guys, so now over here on our other realm, Thrall, we again want to aim for those same parameters, but we would like to aim for a little bit more. Now Proudmoore did actually get us over 100 gold in total, or 100,000, 120,000 actually, so we just need a little less than 80,000 to actually hit that goal of 200,000 that we aim for each week. I'd really like to, you know, try to beat Series 1. I always aim to try to do that, but it's gonna be a long stretch for Thrall. They have pulled out some really good weeks, so hopefully I can do it. Let's go ahead and at least see if we can get a little bit of better turnout with the low value transmog withdrawal here though. And we've got 26 sales, 48,350 gold. So not the best they've done, but way better than Primer. And this is actually really good. We're over the 40,000, almost 50,000, and well above the 1,000 average per sale for the low value transmog. So we should definitely have some standouts. What we got here, we got the Blood Knight Greaves here for 3,200. We also have the Splinter Spear Axe for 1,500. And then we got the Creeper Claw Axe at almost 4,000. We have a Chipped Wood Chopper here for 4,200. We have the Steel Spark Axe for 7,200. Really nice value on that one. Ice Pick, I believe that's Wrath, 7,300. And then Heroes Leggings for 18. We have a Century Surcoat for 1,900. And then Ebonhold Leggings for 1,100, which is actually really good because I think they're valued like right under 3,000. But I keep them because they have such a high sell rate. And then we have Glimmering Mail Legs for 2,100. Also have Old John's Left Hand. Now that's got to be from Islands, 1,500. And then we got the Steadfast Legs for 5,300. All right, now on the high value transmog, but for Thrall, we really need a really good turnout here. Though we are really close to our 200,000 at least. Let's see what we got. And we've got 4 sales, 43,916 gold. So they are right at that 10,000 average per sale with only 4 sales. So it's not going to be enough to beat Series 1, but I do think that's going to put us over 200,000. So really good still. Let's see, Twilight Dragon's Helm here for 11,000. We got the Speed Steel Rapier for almost 30,000. Actually really good because these aren't too high value. I mean, they have a decent value, so that's really good. We have the Rib Splitter here for 1,200. And then a Plundered Jade Fury Shield for 2,200. All right, so our last bank alt for week 30. It's going to be our materials and our pets. And actually, Primal did quite well. Let's see how well Thrall did for us. And 5 sales, 5,952 gold. Actually, really good value for how many sales they had. But they sold basically, they didn't really sell any pets. I mean, they really struggled with the pets this time around. In the past, I mean, these pets from Islands have actually seemed to go pretty fast. And they're kind of going slow this time. But anyway, what did we get? We got the Marks of Sargeras once again, 1,000 of those for 1,400, almost 1,500. We got the Sun Fury Signets, 2,300 of those for 2,400. And then we've got the Felt Armaments, only 67 of those for 1,400. So again, yeah, not a single pet here on Thrall, unfortunately. People are not liking them over here. All right, guys, so back to our sheet. How did we do for week 30? So we made 208,141 gold with our transmog alone. Hey, it's over 200,000, so that's good. And we also got 14,638 gold from our materials slash pets, which is way above what we made last week at, only about 8,000. So, and that brings us to a grand total for this week at 222,779 gold, which unfortunately is below what we made last week and is below what we made with this series 1 of 421,000. But hey, I'm happy with it. We didn't post that much this week once again, so that kind of played a factor. I'm sure if I will post it more, and then we may have had some better sales. But then again, maybe it's just it hasn't been a good set of weeks here recently, and we're not farming as much, although we do still have quite a bit of stock left over. Anyway, that does now bring us to a grand total of 12,576,000 gold that we've made in 30 weeks, which is really good. That is 2,576,000 above our goal that was only 10 million. So far now we have made 11,188,000 in transmog alone and 1,388,000 with our materials. Now this week Proudmoore did beat Thrall because they really didn't have much of a high value transmog, although they had more in the low value range. But Proudmoore made us 124,000. Thrall made us 98,000. That is though still putting Thrall in the lead because they've had such a great lead now. Proudmoore though has now made us over 6 million at 6,079,000, and Thrall has made us 6,497,000. So they're still like 400,000 above Proudmoore. It wasn't always the case. Like I said, it was Proudmoore in the lead all the way up until week 24, but Thrall has carried it for 6 weeks now. So really good. And still, this week we did way better than those passive items from series 1, right? So that's really good. But anyway, guys, I think that's pretty much going to wrap this one up. Again, this is probably going to be our last clean out video for this series. I won't say it's going to be our last one, but it's going to be our last one for this series. And going to, like I said, take a little bit of a break and work more on our 1000 run series, and going to work more on possibly building some other speed classes. I'm going to dive first into getting some more of the 1000 runs done before I start working on the speed classes. But that is what I'm going to be working on next. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys still enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that big thumbs up. Lets me know that you like it. Also helps out the channel. And do not forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss the next one, which hopefully will be soon for LBRS for 1000 runs. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it in this one. I hope to see you all in the next video and live sometime on Twitch. Take care, guys.